Hi, welcome to Girl, Are You Okay?
This is a podcast about two 20-somethings living in LA, talking about anything and everything.
You slayed that. I'm Abeera.
I'm Ayesha.
And welcome to our show today.
Let's get into it.
Yes. Wait, I have to tell you what I did.
What?
I made a purchase.
Okay.
Basically, there's this girl on TikTok. Her name is Tess. I don't know what her @ is, but she is this woman from, I was going to say Canada. And she just puts her phone in her kitchen and she just like makes yummy food. And she's just my comfort TikToker right now. And like I love that her videos are like 10 minutes long.
Yeah, so you can really kind of get in there.
Yes. And she takes you through the whole process. So nice. But she went through all of her cookbooks and she has like so many. And one of the ones where she's like, absolute yes, you need this it was for something called the Bread Bible. And I went on Amazon to see like, you know, what the price of it was and whatever. And it was unavailable. I was like, shoot, like her most like requested recommended, thank you, cookbook is gone. And if Amazon doesn't have it, like
who does, people?
Exactly. So I got a little nervous, but anyway, we went to Barnes and Noble and there in front of me is the Bread Bible. And yes, was it $40? Absolutely. Did it feel necessary? Absolutely. So I purchased it.
Do you bake bread?
Not religiously. However, now it will be because I have the Bread Bible.
A new convert.
Yes. But I did, like everyone else, do it during the pandemic.
I didn't get on that train.
For what reason?
It feels so difficult. It seems so difficult, just like making bread.
I think the reason why people have that take is because a lot of time goes into it, but not active work time.
Yeah.
It's passive where it's like, oh, we have to let it rise for 2 hours.
It's giving Nara Smith.
Yeah, yes. Like, could I do this every day of my life? No. But if I'm like, it's raining outside, no plans on during the weekend, and I'm just like at home, what else are you doing? Also, you can leave and come back because it needs like an hour or two to rise. So
I would love to try one of your breads.
Oh my gosh. Well, stay tuned, guys. Maybe I'll post some pics of me.
Do you ever see the people that make their own bread and they embellish it with like tomatoes and basil and like make it look like flowers?
Yes, the focaccias. We should do a focaccia party.
Yes. Oh my God.
I've been wanting to do that actually because I actually enjoy the vegetables that they use for the most part. So I'm like, oh yeah, I love this on my bread.
And then I'll make another butterboard.
Ayesha made the best butterboard ever for, what was it, like a Friendsgiving or something?
Yeah, Friendsgiving.
It was, what was that honey one that you made?
It was, hot honey butterboard, which if you're not familiar with butterboards, it's just butter.
It's like a charcuterie board, but instead you're focusing on butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just literally, I smeared this butter all over like this wooden board. And then I like made a hot honey.
Yeah. Did you make it? You didn't buy a hot honey?
No. Well, I bought honey that I put into it, but then you have to do a mixture.
That's because, you know, they sell hot honey.
Yeah.
So like that might be like the easy way out, but it sounds like.
Yeah. I actually had to like take like red chili flakes and then oil and like cook it up into this like sauce. And then I think I just drizzled honey on top of everything. So the combination made it hot honey.
Yes, and I remember that was incredible. And I was like, what did you do? Like
with
this
Parmesan.
is magic.
It was so good. Like I'm truly not trying to toot my own horn.
No, but you should.
It took me 2 tries because I fully burned it the first attempt.
That is dedication. You're like, I'm showing up to this Friendsgiving with this item. And thank God that you did because.
I mean, it was my one job. Yeah. It was the one thing.
And can I just say the follow-up after eating that was probably us like eating like KFC and stuff because I'm pretty sure we did like, oh, I don't know if that was the year we did a fast food Friendsgiving.
No, but you did have, I think, a KFC bucket.
Yes, I think I
there.
did make someone go get that because
And then there was like pesto pasta. It was really good.
yeah. But then the following year I did a fast food Friendsgiving because I was like, I'm not cooking and no one else is gonna cook because sometimes people bring some questionable items.
I know. I'm so sad that I missed that.
We'll do it again.
Okay.
But yeah, so bread Bible, maybe you make that. I'll bring the bread. That'll be our
It'll be perfect.
love.
Love. Speaking of love.
Speaking of love. Our episode today, we thought, because we're also getting some requests about discussing like relationship topics and specifically like what goes into a healthy relationship. We might touch on like some aspects of that, but we wanted to talk about love languages.
I'm really excited about this topic.
Me too. I love like
I love
take
love.
a shot every single time we say love today. Actually don't, because we're gonna get some hospital bills. But I really do enjoy talking about love languages because I think, one, as a therapist, they're very relevant with our like clients, but it also just helps me make sense of my like how I show up
Yeah.
in friendships and in romantic relationships.
Yes, I think it's huge to remember that the way you show and express love or like enjoy receiving love doesn't actually just have to be from a significant other or a partner. It can be from your family members, best friends, you know, people you spend the most time with.
Yeah.
And so we're going to cover what those are.
Yes. Okay. So there's 5 main love languages. And I think they're talking about adding like a few more, but they're not official.
Okay. I didn't know that.
So we'll focus on the 5 official ones for today, but maybe we do like a part 2 in the future going into the other ones that they're talking about.
Definitely.
So there's quality time, acts of service, words of affirmation, physical touch, and gift giving.
Oh, good job.
Thank you. And then you can take a quiz to find out about your love languages. And what they'll do is just like, I think you just took it again, right?
I just took
They
it.
like do it in order of import or in order of how it's relevant to you or something, or
like how they asked you the questions,
or like how you score. Like,
yes, I think
they'll like tell you all 5 and like how they rank essentially.
yes.
Okay.
Well, it was only showing me my first one because I think I had to pay to see the others.
Capitalism.
I know.
Back at it again.
I know.
I think, okay, also I think it's fair to say, like, if you just do your research and you don't take the quiz, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to figure out.
And here's another
Which
thing. When
ones?
you're taking the quiz, you can almost guess what each response is leaning towards. So if you're noticing which ones you're tending to lean towards, like for me, there was 2 primary love languages answers that I was like clicking between.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm guessing those were like my top 2.
Probably. Okay. Okay. So I think it used to give you like your write up in order of like, this is your first all the way down to like, this is your 5th. Sounds like maybe they're not doing that for free anymore, but you can take the quiz at 5lovelanguages.com.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Mhm.
But if you also just put in love languages on Google, you will find it, I promise.
Yeah. So what is your love language?
Top one, or do we want to like go into like what we think in order?
I think let's start with the top one.
Okay. My top one is quality time. How about you?
My top one was words of affirmation.
Whoa. Cute. Do you know what your last one would be?
Physical touch.
Okay, mine too. No shame.
It's just so funny to me because it's just, yeah.
I think, and this is, I'll be honest to all of our listeners right now, this is not the first time Ayesha and I have talked about this. So we kind of know this about each other and we can get into like what we've talked about before.
Yeah.
But
I will say this. I wish physical touch didn't make me so uncomfortable.
Me too. Yeah.
It makes me so uncomfortable. And I think it also makes me feel kind of like this other feeling of like, why does it make me so uncomfortable? Some like
it's like shame. Yeah. And guilt. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, fully. And I think that, and I don't know if we want to get into this right now, but that could just come from like upbringing and like culture.
Totally. I think we can touch on that. I think growing up, you know, my family doesn't show a lot of physical affection. My parents don't really do so. They do chase each other around the kitchen counter, like laughing. But that's
not physical touch.
That's maybe more quality time.
Yeah.
And so it's honestly like, I wish I had a video clip to show you. It's hysterical. I'm like, how old are you? Just kidding.
I think I could probably count without exerting myself how many times I've like seen my parents like kiss.
I never have.
Yeah.
Like even the thought of it, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, do you think that is cultural?
Well, yes, because my siblings and I, we don't even hug. There are times where like me and my sister have been forced to hug.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she can agree with me on this one. It is so uncomfortable.
It's like forced.
Like I feel like I'm dying inside a little bit.
I will say, I think my family definitely like we hug, but it's not like it's very intentional. It's not just something we like. And when I say hug, it's not like a long embrace. It's more of like when we say hi and bye, like there will always be a hug, but it's not like a co-regulation hug, if you know what I'm talking about. That's actually something my mom started to instill like later on in my life, where like, and I want to say also like when I need a hug, it's there.
Okay.
But like, it's not something that we practice on like on the daily or on the weekly. And I'm okay with that. I'm not necessarily saying I feel deprived, but maybe I am. Who knows?
I mean, I think physical touch also in a way is really important.
Absolutely.
You know, and so I will say I'm not like totally touch averse, right? I'm not gonna like, I love giving hugs and getting hugs. It's just not my top priority. Like I can go without it without really thinking much of it.
Yeah. I think I've gotten a little bit better, but like it also depends like who it is. Like if I've just met you, like I won't automatically, you know, the people that you'll just meet and they'll go in for a hug.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
What do you do instead? Handshake?
I handshake.
Wait, can I have a handshake example from you?
This is very pressuring.
I'm testing something.
How firm my handshake is?
Yes.
Okay, this is not natural anymore.
Oh, that's solid. Okay.
Like I grasp.
Because there are some girlies out there. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Sorry, that was probably really loud for the mic, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
It drives me crazy. Like, let's do it. Like, I can't.
That made me bomb.
I can't. Like, I literally.
To you, people out there that give a frail,
limp
handshake.
Let's get it together.
Like, we are no longer. Like, I don't know. It gives me like damsel in distress vibes.
Yes. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
And it's like, this is. Like, do you want us to kiss your hand? Like, that's what it's giving.
No, it totally is.
Like, yeah, do it. Like, yeah. You're setting me up to grasp and kiss. Like,
it's just so.
Yeah, no. Guys, also, we're post-pandemic. We should not be. Let's knuckle.
Fist bump.
Yeah. I see people doing that too. And sometimes like that throws me off a little bit. And I definitely react in a very uncomfortable way.
Yeah.
But going back to, I don't hug. I will hug if someone goes in with that, but it's not my go-to for sure. So, physical touch. Sorry, I was like, where do we?
Yeah, physical touch. And it makes me sad because I know my partner's number one love language is physical touch.
Same with my partner.
And I know like once I could tell my partner was like a little upset. So I was trying to be comforting. And
I love this story.
I was like, I don't know what I was doing, but I think I was like patting him. And he was like, this feels so unnatural. Like you're some like alien trying to figure out how to make physical contact. It hurt my feelings a little
twist.
bit.
Aisha is an alien. They are among us. So it could be your bestie.
Look out, guys.
Yeah. No, I know exactly. It's almost giving like how I envision like robots and AI are trying to give
like they're
emotion
there.
these days.
I'm just like, I'm so sorry. It doesn't come naturally.
Neither, yeah, it doesn't for me either. I will say, I don't know if you, and not that this is like a physical touch thing, but like I definitely rely more on my voice to give comfort, and maybe that's just because I feel more confident
Yeah,
now in doing that.
totally. I mean, maybe that's why we're therapists, because if our clients
are supposed to give physical touch to our clients.
Exactly. So it's kind of,
well, it's confirmation now too, or not confirmation, but it's just like feeding into our love languages that already may have existed prior to the program.
right. I also, and this is kind of like goes against a little bit what we were saying, but I've heard that your love language kind of determines what you didn't receive a lot of as a child. But with that logic, technically, we should be more into physical touch.
Right.
But then maybe the upbringing end was just so strong that culturally it feels unnatural.
Well, I will say there's a lot of, I don't know how much I want to get into this, but like I think culturally there is a lot of shame and guilt that just comes with, well, PDA one, but even not public display, but like even like private, like I don't know what do we want to call that? Like there's just like sex shaming. I don't know.
Yeah,
like just in general. Like I don't think that it was ever. I think okay, this is how I'm gonna put it. We grew up in America, right? And I think with our generation, that topic in a general sense is trying to become more normalized and almost empowering.
Yes.
Right?
Completely.
That is not what we were raised with. And yeah, that's not what we exactly. And I think that is a constant struggle even to this day in my brain.
I completely agree. Because I think sex positivity.
Thank you. That was the word I was looking for.
I was thinking of it. It just came to me just now. And is something that is just only recently emerging, that wasn't really present when we were like
even in high school.
Up. Yes, it was not. Yeah. It was very much like shaming, right? Back then.
You can talk to like your close friends about things, but like no one else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of like something we're just going to continue to kind of, you know,
many therapy sessions have taken place on this topic.
I know, same here.
So
it's not an overnighter.
No. And I think that that's something that maybe we can just like some disclosures about love languages. I think one, it's fluid. And I can see us having our like tops or like I see them changing and like evolving over time. And I think it could be interesting to take the quiz or like reflect on your love languages like every year or so just to see like where you're at. Because I really think they're important because you can voice these things in relationships and maybe feel more loved. I don't know. Like
exactly. Because I think maybe, I'm not sure if this is how people feel, but maybe there's something that happens where someone's love language is a certain thing and their partner has a completely different one, or actually in our case.
Yeah, right.
And
like complete opposites in some ways.
Complete opposites. And I think you can collaborate and figure out, you know, what works for your relationship.
And almost like take baby steps too. Like I know that I voice like physical touch is not my number one. Like how can we like make this work and feel loved?
And
right?
not only is it not your number one, but if I'm assuming, because this is how I feel, it's also it's hard for me.
Yes.
You know? So like, I'm going to like, these are the steps I'm taking to kind of incorporate that more.
Right. Like, okay, maybe a baby step is let's hold hands every now and then. Right. Like, okay, that doesn't seem too insane to me. Right. Like, sure. I think before we even get more into the relationship aspect, I also want to voice that love languages could be forgiving and receiving, and they might differ based off of that. Like we might like to receive love a certain way, but it's more natural for us to give it in another way.
Exactly.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, cause like for words of affirmation, I know like nothing makes me happier than somebody like, you know, someone saying they're proud of me or that I did really well on something, or like being like, oh my gosh, like when you did this, like it was
like acknowledgement.
Yes. It makes me feel so seen. And so my partner showers me with words of affirmation, and it feels so good. But I noticed like I love to give gifts.
Yes.
In the way I show people love.
Me
Like I
too. I think it's my second, if not sometimes maybe tied for number 1.
And it also feels good when somebody gives you something and they're like, it really shows that they were thinking of you, that something reminded you of them. And not only that, but they understand you.
Yes. Maybe I just clocked out for a second. Did you also mention that like it's just something that like, oh, they were thinking about you? Mm-hmm. You just said that. Okay, sorry. Bye.
Just put emphasis on that, right?
Yes. I think and I think we can maybe touch on the aspect that I know you always bring up, where it's like I think people have I don't know. Is there like a weird vibe when people say that gift giving is your love language? Like almost like, oh,
a stigma around it, that it's kind of materialistic.
Right.
And I can see where they're coming from.
I think it depends.
And I think it's the intention.
Correct.
And I think to clarify, wanting to receive gifts does not mean you even have to go to Target and buy something.
No. Ayesha once made me this beautiful card by hand that like was a picture of me. And I still have it because I'm like, this is incredible. And the fact that you took time to first of all find the picture, draw it, and then make modifications to make it fun and like fresh, like it was incredible.
Thank you so much. You're giving me my love language right now.
Oh yeah, true. Wow.
Thank you. Or my partner goes on a lot of hikes with his friends and he will come home with like a little assortment of wildflowers that he's tied together with a stem. And it just like
applause.
Like here, like he's with his friends, he's with the boys. But here he is collecting flowers along the way.
So sweet.
And it just like, so I hope that can highlight the gift giving.
I would be so, I feel like someone's done this for me and I can't remember if I'm imagining this or if it actually happened, but I feel like one time someone brought me a rock. And I feel like they brought me a rock because they thought I would like it. And I was so happy.
A rock, not a crystal.
A rock specifically. And I just want everyone to know out there, if you bring me a rock, I will happily take it because I think that is so kind.
That is so cute.
Like, imagine receiving a rock that someone's like, I thought of you. Like, I don't know if this is rude, but like, I thought of you when I saw this. I think that's sweet. Because even if it was like just that, it's like, oh, a rock is like grounding in a way. And it's like solid.
Yeah. No. Honestly, like, and a rock won't wilt and die.
Exactly. Forget flowers. Get your girls and boys some rocks. You heard it here first. They should start selling rocks places. Also a good like painted rock.
Oh, I would love to do that. I've never painted rocks before.
Oh my gosh. We should. This is like one of my favorite activities to do.
Okay, so you're gonna bake some bread. I'm gonna bring some butter, and we're
gonna go on a mindfulness walk, get some rocks, come back, paint them, and then we'll go on another walk to spread them around the neighborhoods.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited.
Just us modeling good behavior and good mental health practices. Yes. Okay. Agreed. I think for me, I like to receive in quality time and gifts. But I also love a good act of service.
Oh, yeah.
Like
that was up there when I was taking the quiz. I could tell it was showing me that a lot.
Yeah. Especially when it's like unexpected.
Yeah. And I think maybe we can kind of clarify what it is, you know?
Correct.
So acts of service is kind of someone.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about any of them. Like, we did not give you guys explanations on them.
And I feel like some of them are self-explanatory.
Well, we've kind of talked about a couple. Okay, anyway, let's go to acts of service. Let's explain that for now.
So acts of service is when somebody does something for you that maybe you could have done yourself, but it really alleviates some pressure or time or just
again,
stress.
It's the thought, right? It's like, oh, my partner usually does this task or my friend usually does this task. Let me do this for them and maybe that will help them.
Right. Like my partner after dinner, after he cooks dinner, will oftentimes also wash the dishes.
This is a great example, Ayesha.
I'm so spoiled, you guys. He also does the laundry. He does everything. But I'm just saying it truly means so much to me because it means like, oh, okay, I have all these other things I need to be doing and it takes so much off my plate. Or if I get anxious about driving somewhere because the parking scares me, parking in LA is a nightmare for me specifically because I don't know how to parallel park and I will go into a full-blown panic. Anyways, so sometimes my partner will drive me somewhere so I don't have to park.
That's very kind.
So it actually means so much to me. And
I'm sure.
Makes me feel so loved and cared for.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing or favorite act of service that my partner does for me is he makes me chai every morning. And
I love that.
Yeah. Because that was a practice that my parents did for me growing up. I'm gonna start crying. Why do I get emotional? Aquarius, what are you doing? Aries moon, that's not you. Yeah, no. And I just think it's so sweet that like when we like moved out together, like I never had to let go of that.
Yeah.
Little ritual.
That's beautiful.
It's beautiful. And among so many other things.
No, but I think that's an amazing example.
That's a big one.
It's almost like it reminds me, I see these videos of like parents starting like a birthday tradition for their very young children.
Yeah.
And I can imagine one day when these kids have partners, like incorporating whatever that is.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally. I also think I was just gonna tie in something from a previous episode, but whenever the Lululemons are not folded the right way, I just think about the chai and I'm like, all is good.
It's balanced. They can't be perfect.
No, yeah, exactly. And that's called reflection and gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
That's the word. Okay, so that's acts of service. What else did we not talk about?
Well, you mentioned that quality time is your number one, but I don't know how much we got into what that can look like.
Fair. That's a good point because it doesn't have to be a full-fledged plan.
Yeah.
I think I just love being present with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the best way I can explain it. Like this is actually like a really big pet peeve of mine that I need to like work on more. But like if someone's on their phone while talking to me, like I actually sometimes will like voice like, let me know when you're done. Or like, because I'm projecting. And I want everyone to know this. I'm projecting because I cannot do two things at once.
Uh-huh.
So if I'm on my phone, I am not listening to you.
Got it. Okay, because like I'm like, oh my God, I think I totally do that. Because I can do two things at once. Actually, sometimes it helps me to have multiple things going on.
Totally.
Because I'm like, okay.
I think also I need to if I know the person and I know how they are, that's a different story.
And you can know them and know their intention and still be annoyed by it.
True. But I think I know, like I can pick up on, if I know the person, I know that this is like a trend or like a pattern for them, then I'll be more pressed if I know they're not listening to me while being on their phone versus someone else. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that's my biggest example for quality time. It's like, I just want to like eye contact, presence, not to be mistaken with presents, like gifts.
But there's so much intimacy there because I think quality time can even look like sitting in bed and watching a TV show.
Oh, completely. We just finished White Lotus, which I've already seen. This is my second time watching it, but my partner's first time watching it.
And season 1?
There's 2 seasons out right now, but I think they're working on a third.
Well, which one did you just finish?
Season 2. So we're like caught up with what's out.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
season 2 was wild.
Yes, for a completely different reason. But that basically going back to like, that is something I really enjoy doing because I watched it alone, but I got something completely different out of it, watching it with my partner internally, but also just enjoyment wise.
There's something so like connective about being able to like, just engage in dialogue around what's happening.
Oh, I love a good debrief, you guys.
It's like,
and I think that's another quality time thing that I'd love to just put out there. I sometimes go to social gatherings awaiting the debrief that comes after.
Oh, 100%. That's almost the best part.
That needs to be normal. If it's not already normalized, I'm here saying it so it becomes normalized a little bit by maybe just voicing it to our listeners. Yeah.
It's just like it's gossip, but it's fun and it doesn't feel so harmful because
Right. Because it's what happened.
It's what happened and it's really isolated to that bubble of people that you're with,
Yeah.
like whoever you're driving home with or
Yeah.
whoever you're calling after you leave,
Yeah.
you know? And it doesn't necessarily, it's not something that's going to get spread with rumors. It's just like, what did you think of
My
that?
partner's sister is actually so iconic with this stuff too. Like she's a good debriefer, I will say. Like, and she's ready. Like, as soon as we get in the car, she's like, okay, like, let's talk. And I'm like, yes, let's talk. And it's also like funny because like most of the time it's like after like their family's thing. So I'm like, you lead the convo. I'll just like nod my head because I don't want to be the one to like say anything because I don't know these people.
Yeah.
Most of the time. So I don't know what they're about.
It just scratches this part of my brain so well. It's just,
well, wasn't it proven that gossiping is like healthy or something?
I don't know. Is it?
That was a vague statement.
I will gladly take that as fact.
Yeah. I think let's table that for now. Let me do more research on it before I
maybe we can have
misinformation.
an episode talking more about gossip.
Yes. Wait, what else did we not touch on? Physical touch, quality time, words of affirmation. I mean, should we just say like that's kind of like positive affirmations and like positive reinforcement sometimes, like things like that?
Yeah, and being reminded of like good qualities and just
Okay. On that, we need to stop complimenting physical features.
Yes.
We need to start complimenting character traits together. Personality.
Mm-hmm.
Those types of things, because enough with, I mean, and don't stop complimenting like, oh, that's a cute outfit.
Yeah,
we
or
love
your
that
makeup
too.
looks so good, you know.
But I think what hits harder is like someone's like, you are such a kind person.
I overheard somebody like very recently telling their parents that I'm really nice because their parents had never met me before. And there was something about that in that moment. I actually felt like I was going to start crying.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wow. And it actually feels good to be nice.
Yes.
Because sometimes, and I think partially I am so angry that our viewers think me, that I'm a Hufflepuff. And I think it's because I'm too nice. And so I have this complex sometimes of like,
guys, I just want to clear the air. Aisha's not that nice. Okay. And I say that with the utmost love. Like she definitely has that side, but there's a whole other situation happening on the side.
Oh yeah. And here's the thing. I think I mask a little bit.
Absolutely.
But like genuine, okay.
You are very nice and kind and all of the things though. Like, don't get me wrong. That might just come more at the surface.
Yeah.
You have to like really like pick at her and then you'll see it.
What is that, Shrek?
Or trigger her in the right way. Push that button. Bring up that person. Right? Like whatever. And something will emerge. But going back to like wait, were you gonna say something else?
No, I was about to make a Shrek reference about
please do
being like an onion.
Oh yes,
I've got many layers.
Thank you.
Anyways,
I was just gonna say like going back to like the more personality compliments. I won't shut up about this ever since I had this client last week, but they told me I had like, thank you for your like positive energy.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was so kind, you know? Like,
well, I feel like you do really bring out this, like, I don't know. I feel more comfortable when you're around because I think if something were to go wrong, the way you're able to adapt and the way you're able to like look at situations is just
talked about
so
this.
reassuring.
Remember?
Yeah.
What episode was that? Like the problem solving stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not only that, I think like you're not one of those people that like, does this look good on me? And they're just like, yeah. No. Okay, that sounded wrong. I think if I was at a flea market with you,
is it that I'm honest?
No, you're honest, but I feel like I can actually trust you and your feedback. Like you're not going to just tell me something looks good just to be like, yeah, of course, it looks so good on you.
Yeah,
or if I was in between two things, you're going to help me figure out which one I like more.
That is true.
You know,
I
and
will
I
do that.
fully trust you.
But I will also sometimes be a little mean about it. And maybe that's why I'm a Slytherin.
Yeah, she's fully a Slytherin. No, but it's like helpful in the long run.
True.
You know?
I do. Yeah. What love language is that?
Maybe that's like
It's kind of like an act of service if you think about it.
active service. Like it's affirming words. It's words. Words are involved.
Yeah. Because I feel like that needs to fall under something.
Well, I almost wonder if it's one of those new ones that they're coming out with. If there's something.
Guys, okay, we need to definitely thread that because I think that might be really applicable. But yeah, did we not go over gift giving? We did.
Words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, acts of service.
Okay,
there you go.
Anything else to touch on about like, I guess like kind of going back to the relationship stuff for the people who are curious about the healthy relationships topic? If your partner has, I think first of all, I think it's really important to have like a discussion about love languages with your partner. I think a lot of people have good knowledge about their love languages, or at least some knowledge. I almost think it should be normalized for that to become a conversation, not super early in the relationship, but like once it's more official and once like you're getting into the groove.
Because we always want to avoid situations where resentment can start building.
Totally.
You know, because resentment will really deteriorate.
Thank you.
Any relationship, because once you get to that stage, it gets way harder to voice a concern or voice anything without it coming off.
Foundations.
Yes. And I think the way you want to feel loved is such an important aspect of a relationship. And I think
it's the whole thing.
Yeah. And I know sometimes communicating can be really hard. It can be really challenging to find, well, when should I bring this up? Or what's the best way to bring this up? Or I'm feeling like I'm
Make
lacking.
it a date night.
Yeah.
Have some fun with it. Like, I don't know. I maybe that's like so cringe of me to say it like that. But like, I feel like maybe I don't know. I feel like maybe this is just me and my level or my type of like communication, but like this is so fun for me to talk about. Like the deeper the topic, the more interesting and like fun it is to like get into it. So like, I don't know.
Relationships are always about just continuing to get to know and understand our partners.
True.
The partner you met when you guys first got together is not the same partner you're going to have 3, 5, 10 years later.
Preach, Ayesha.
I just
period.
Feel like you know,
can fix
I can fix him.
Ayesha
no,
and
really,
I
can't.
We're on 2 different levels today. I'm like not being serious, and she's like, guys, listen. Therapist is in the room. This is free content. You would have to pay $160 usually for this.
Oh yeah.
You're getting it for free.
For free, you guys. But yeah, I'm just saying, you know that you yourself are not the same person that you were, however many years ago. So how can you expect your partner to be? And your relationship is always going to be shifting. Something might happen just in the world, or, anything might happen.
Like the pandemic. Imagine if physical touch was your number one on both ends and you guys couldn't see each other. What do you do? What do you do? Oh. I am backed in a corner. Regardless, you guys need to like evolve and talk about this, because then it's like you said, it's going to maybe become like a point of resentment or just an obstacle in your relationship.
And contempt is the biggest predictor of divorce, or probably just breaking up. My source is the Gottman Institute.
I am so checked out right now. Anything else to add to that?
Well, I'm just going to say, just to reiterate that, gift giving and that being somebody's love language is not a red flag.
Yes, which brings us to our next segment. But before we do, real quick, I just want to add that in a next episode, I also want to talk about love languages towards yourself.
Oh, yeah.
So
I think we could totally get into a whole episode about self-care
Yes.
and self-love.
So nodding to a future episode. If you're interested in that,
let us
maybe
know.
give us a thumbs up right now. Pause this, or not even pause this episode, but right now, as I'm saying it, take a moment, check to see if you're subscribed, check to see if you've liked this episode, rated us on whatever platform that you're listening on. Because truly, guys, if you like this, we want to make this more and like better content and better quality. So please help us.
And it helps us so much.
And our goal is to get guests on here, but we can only do that if we get support from you guys. And that will just make this more fun for everybody.
I know.
Love you. Okay, next segment. Okay, so yeah, red flag, you kind of nodded to it for a second. We have a fun game talking about love languages / relationships. Red flag, green flag.
I cannot wait.
Yes. So we kind of came up with some controversial topics, and we are going to vote whether or not it's a red flag or a green flag for us. And maybe we'll get into it a little bit to kind of explain.
Yeah, because I wonder if we're going to disagree on any.
Let's find out.
Okay.
Okay. So we each have 3 to share. And then we also have these DIY. We have a lot to hold.
I know.
We have these DIY. If you're not watching, we have DIY red flag and green flags that we will be holding up just for the visual aesthetics. But we will also say whether or not, or whether it's a green flag or a red flag for us. Okay.
Don't worry.
Should I go first?
Yeah.
Okay. The first one, guys, is sharing or having, how should I word this? Like sharing your location.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Does it matter who from? Like, I guess it's just in general, like sharing location with your partner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And your partner
also,
wanting.
I will say this is for romantic relationships specifically.
Yeah. So these, specifically are for romantic relationships.
And we are also 2 heterosexual women. So keep that in mind with our responses, because things may change depending on all of that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sharing location with partner, red flag or green flag, and then pick your. Okay, we both did
green flag.
We both did green flags. Okay, which a lot of people might vote differently.
I think I could easily turn into a red flag if somebody is demanding to know where I am.
Yes.
Is trying to keep tabs on me.
Yes.
When I'm saying I'm going to go see a friend, they need to know where it is.
Yes.
Right. And like, which friend are you going to go see? You
right.
know?
Once it becomes controlling.
Yeah. So I think this could have red flag potential depending on the intent.
Intent is like bold, underlined, like that is the biggest component. I also think that there's a component of how far are you in this relationship?
Mm-hmm.
How early is too early to share location? Like things like that can maybe play a role here.
Yeah, like if you only just met, I want to say even if you've only been together like a month.
Yeah, I feel like it needs to be like 6 months maybe. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm just throwing a number out there, but like be in the relationship for like a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that they're like not the one, but like that you're feeling
just
safe and comfy with them.
normal.
Yes. True.
Because
True.
I will say people can do a really good job like making you think that they are a certain way when really they're completely different.
Yeah.
And so just make sure you know a person well enough to share your location with them or anything.
Yeah, agreed. I feel so comfy knowing that my partner has my location because as we know from the last episode, one of my biggest fears is being kidnapped. And not that I would have my phone if I were kidnapped, but I would like to know, or I like the idea that my partner would maybe know where I am.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid something happened.
It feels comforting for him to also be able to want to know where I am so that he could like, in the event of like emergency or something were to happen, like he could be there. And this isn't relationship related, but I also have a lot of my friends' locations.
I know you do. And then I sent you like that meme of like my Sims.
They're my Sims. I check on them every day.
Yeah.
Or like in particular, like if I have a friend that I know is going on a first date at around a certain time, like I'll like check and like see, okay, she's on her date, and then later on make sure she's home.
Yeah.
This makes me
I'll
feel
check
better.
my friends like going on flights too. I'll be like, and I also think it's fun. It's like, now I get to move my little map around.
Yeah.
I don't know what that says. But yeah, I think we kind of align on that one.
Yeah.
Pretty well. What's your first one?
Okay, my next one is not posting you on socials.
Okay, I'm ready to vote. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we both did red flag.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that this is a tricky one. Not necessarily a black and white situation.
Definitely. I think if your partner does not already have or use social media really, you can't really have a fair expectation that they're going to do so.
Agreed.
I do know, though, saying that my partner doesn't really use social media, and I will voice feeling upset when I see it's like National Blank Day and everybody
Ayesha.
I am the red flag, you guys. And everybody's getting such cute little posts. And then at that point, I think I start
That's peer pressure.
I start to feel left out.
That's okay. I can feel that. It's kind of like Valentine's Day too, right? Like it's just a social construct that you want to be a part of because it looks so fun.
Yeah.
Agreed. I also think again, it's like I guess quantity wise, like, do you think is as long as they've posted you once, like, so people know you guys are like, I don't know, like, what's your opinion there? Because I feel like, okay, this is actually my hot take on this. If you're gonna post about your partner, do it somewhat consistently, because I use your Instagram as a look into your relationship. And if you do not post your partner anymore, I assume you guys broke up, and I need that tea.
Oh, do we have time for a quick story?
Depends how quick.
It might take like 3 minutes.
I don't know. Do you want to just do it?
Okay. So there's somebody I know from high school who was fully engaged, right?
Okay.
And was planning her wedding, like posted pictures in like bridal pre-event garb, and then didn't think anything of it, like have never seen the wedding photos, but assumed maybe I missed it or maybe it hasn't happened. Anyways, I saw a picture of her with some guy, and but then I'm like, it looks really like the way they're standing together. I'm like, no, and I'm like, that's not her fiance, right? And then turns out this is fully her date at this wedding. She was attending another wedding, and she had this other guy as a date. So I go to her Instagram, and all the pictures with her fiance are gone.
And all her wedding stuff too.
Yes. And I'm like, oh my God, what happened?
That's kind of, and I don't know if this is so effed up of me, but like, I live for that. Like, that's what I mean. Like, you need to be consistent, because it becomes too confusing then if you just like have like one picture. And then also if you're like someone who keeps like pictures of like your exes like on your Instagram, I'm like,
ooh,
this is like,
what about that?
That's not something we had written down. That's a definite red. No, if you're in a new relationship and you have pictures of your ex on there.
No, I know. I feel like I wish there wasn't like a red or a green flag. I wish there was like
a beige.
A beige. I'm going to do green to oppose you.
Tell me what your justification is, because
okay,
like if you mean like if you end on good terms or whatever.
No, I mean, okay, of course that it should be hopefully involved, but I'm just saying that you can't expect your partner to necessarily erase their past. However, you can't.
I don't think it's the expectation so much of like
the physical reminder.
What are you doing?
I think I'm just trying to, I've never actually been in this situation.
Like, for why?
Okay, I'm trying to think of how I'd feel if my partner had like pictures of their ex-girlfriend on their feed and then there was me.
And you can still love your ex, whatever, and like have a special place in your heart for them. But like,
I'm changing my answer
to red.
To red.
As you should. Okay. Case closed. Next, uses a lot of emojis.
Okay. I'm ready.
What'd you do?
We both put green.
Okay, we both did green. I maybe didn't think it was a green flag until recently because I've embraced emojis more.
I think it's just so fun. And I feel like, okay, not that using emojis is feminine, but I think when guys are willing,
like touching into their feminine side. Is that what you're going to say?
In a way, yeah. I just think when guys aren't afraid of like expressing themselves, and I guess why does expressing yourself in any way feel more feminine? I need to process that. But
yes, that's a bigger conversation for sure.
But I'm just saying it feels like they're more fun.
I love an ironic use of emojis too.
Mm-hmm. It's so good.
Yeah. Also, again, like this is like a recent embrace of mine where like I don't think I used to love, because there was like a phase where like emoji usage was like
cringe,
like, and then you would just like do like back to like the colon and parenthesis emoticons, like because that was a little bit less whatever. I'm glad that Gen Z is making it more,
but apparently certain emojis are cringe. I've gotten yelled at by younger Gen Z by my usage of like that puppy eye emoji, but the one without the tears.
Oh,
that one apparently is wildly cringe. Will I still use it?
I like that one.
I love it. But apparently,
I like both of them. My favorite emoji is this one.
Oh yeah.
If you don't have the video component, you missed my impersonation of it.
Yeah.
So if we ever post an Instagram post and then it has this emoji, it was probably me who posted it because I like to throw. I also like the melted face one.
Yes, the melted face is
and
good.
And then the salute.
The salute, the cowboy.
I don't use him.
I don't use him enough, but I love him.
Okay. I also like the face palm.
Like the girl.
Yeah.
I don't use her enough. I use more of like the shrug.
Okay.
If I use it.
What's your most random emoji use that you use often?
I feel like, I was doing it more before. Like,
do I have an answer?
Like a little fish, a plant.
Oh, the little sprout.
I never use that.
I feel like I've seen you use it.
I use it like in an Instagram caption when I'm throwing down a couple emojis, but I don't just throw it down in a text message. I do not. Check the receipts.
Okay.
I promise you.
I don't even know if I have an answer to this too, but
I like the purple devil.
Oh, you do. Unfortunately, I do not have my phone on me.
Yeah, we're filming a podcast right now.
So I guess do you know if I use one from our text messages? I don't think
I'm
so.
doing like
I don't use a lot of emojis in text.
No, I was thinking, I'm like trying to think of any emoji you use.
You can say it for everyone listening. I'm the driest texter out there.
Honestly, Abeera will come out and say the most wild, off-putting thing that makes you like laugh out loud. Like truly, Abeera sends texts that make me feel like I'm literally crying. You do. You are so funny.
I'm confused.
Okay. I'm just saying you don't need the emojis because you make up for it with intellect.
I think my partner would disagree with you. He thinks I am the driest texter.
But she's so funny.
But it's also like I hate texting. Like I actually I will take a phone call over texting any day.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I hate it. But I also don't love long phone calls. Like get to the point. I think I'm just
How do you feel about FaceTime?
Hate it.
Okay. Okay.
I was just like thinking about all the times we FaceTimed. And
I'm like
oh, she was
I'm
in agony the entire time.
Oh my God. Okay. I will say nothing is worse than getting a FaceTime call from someone where you're like, why are you calling me?
Yeah. Because then you want to know, but you're also like, I don't want to talk to you.
There are some people where I'm like, you have no business FaceTiming me, let alone calling me.
Is that physical touch?
Yes. Yes. Remember when I left you a FaceTime voicemail?
Guys, you can do FaceTime voicemails now. Which was your idea that they stole from you. Tim Cook.
I mean, I will say this. I'm so glad they've incorporated it, but I've been saying it for years. Because nothing feels worse when you FaceTime someone and they don't pick up and you're just staring at yourself.
My favorite. Yeah. Yeah.
And so it feels good. Like, oh, let me record them a little message. And
cursing them out or something.
Yeah.
In the interest of time, what's your next one?
Oh, splitting the bill.
Ooh, tea.
I have to think about this for a second, I think.
I know what my answer is, but I have an explanation as always. Guys, we could not do this game without giving an explanation because
This is so hard.
we're yappers. Are you ready?
No. Okay, hold on.
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, me too. Okay, we both did green. We're really boring. Anyway,
I was going back and forth too.
I voted green because as a broke girl, I would never expect my partner to pick up the bill. That didn't make sense. I guess just explaining our relationship, like we both met each other when we were very young. So like we were both working like minimum wage jobs.
Yeah.
And why would I expect my partner to pay for the bill if we were both making the same amount of money?
Well, it is more expensive to be a girl.
Okay.
That's the argument I see online.
I disagree because my partner has a shopping addiction. So I think nowadays I will come out and say I do get treated a lot more, but it's also because I'm making significantly less than my partner.
Yeah.
And I hate it. I hate it.
I think there's not an expectation that he or they or whoever covers it.
Yeah.
But it does feel good sometimes when there is an offer or like, oh no, I've got it. It feels good, but it's not an expectation that always happens.
Yes. What is your take on like I think society always says like it's chivalry, right? Like if a guy like takes you on a date and like pays the bill, do you think women should do it too every now and then?
On the first date, I'm not sure.
And I'm talking
if
heterosexual couples only right now.
Yeah,
Sorry.
heterosexual couples. I don't think as a woman, if I were going on first dates, I don't see myself offering.
Not the first date. Like if you're in the relationship and every now and then they're like, oh, we're going to go on a nice dinner.
Yeah. Then yes.
But okay. Yeah.
I think I would.
Yeah.
Totally. Because I think it's also a
like
gift.
This is my treat. Like,
yeah,
we're going to go have this fun day on me kind of thing. Okay. Yeah. I don't think a lot of people would say that though, or at least it wouldn't be discussed. I think it's just almost expected that the guy would be the one to initiate something like that.
I mean, it's so hard because like in today's economy, how realistic is it? Like, I'm sorry, man. Sometimes.
Well, explain your green flag because that was all my spiel.
Actually, I really agreed with you. But yeah, I just don't expect it because I'm like, I know that it would put such a financial burden on me to have to be the one to do that. So it's not even fair of me to put that on especially my partner of all people.
Yeah.
That's why I feel less so with a first date because what if they sucked? Or what if I didn't really like them? It's like,
no, I always think about this. Like if I was single, I would use like dates as like free food.
Oh, 1000%.
And I was actually, a mutual friend of ours was telling us about one of like the first dates that she went on, and she like ordered like 2 entrees and they were like lobster and like steak. Stop. Yeah. And sorry, I had to whisper who it was to Ayesha. And apparently like she talked to her dad after like the date was over and like told him what she ordered, and her dad's like, you can't do that. And she's like, why not? And snaps to that.
Why not?
Snaps to that.
Oh my God. Yeah. That is iconic behavior. Was this recently?
No, it was the one that happened like during grad school. Like when we were friends. And
he was good for it. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just saying. I would have done the same thing.
Okay, fair.
I hope she got dessert.
I hope all you single English. I hope all you single girlies out there are getting some free food out of your atrocious dates that I'm sure you're going on. Because they can't all be good.
I know. We should have a Discord channel for date stories.
Dates and what you ordered.
Yes.
And then that can turn into like a food review and restaurant review.
I love it. Yeah.
That'd be so fun, you guys. We have to do that. Okay, let's do our last one.
Okay.
What about if the guy has a girl best friend?
Okay, this is hard because I'm like,
I know. I think for me, I'm going to pick up the red and I feel bad about it because the rational and logical person in me doesn't think that's fair.
yes, I think what's happening for me right now is I want to be a green,
but you're not.
But I'm like, am I lying? Am I lying?
Yeah. I think guys, why are there so many movies about this? Why are there so like, and also maybe it's not even movies. Like, why are there so many real life examples of
this going
oh my gosh,
wrong?
Pause right now. Ask yourself, can a girl and a guy just be friends?
I want to say yes.
But it depends.
Okay.
What if, oh gosh, I don't know.
What do you think?
I think, yeah, sometimes, but also like maybe I would say like 30, 70.
70 being you can't?
Yeah.
Tell me a situation of what could happen.
You fall in love with them because they're your bestie.
But what if you are in a relationship?
Being friends is the foundation of a relationship.
But what if you already have a relationship where they're your bestie?
Oh. Well, we're not talking about that. Oh, sorry, our co-producer asked about same-sex relationships. That's a whole other ball game.
Yeah.
I think we'd have to like approach the entire list again if it was.
I'm too weak.
We don't have the bandwidth right now, and also we don't have the time. That's a whole other ep.
My life would be such a nightmare if I was a lesbian. Is that problematic? It is. I'm just saying, I'm a jealous girl.
Oh.
And if I was a lesbian.
I loved your wee word right there. That happened. She was about to say another word.
I'm just saying, if I was a lesbian and my lesbian girlfriend had all these hot friends.
Yeah, no.
I would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
I would be horrible.
The insecurities, yeah.
I don't think I could handle it.
No, I fully acknowledge, like, I don't think my partner has ever really had a woman friend, period.
You were gonna say hot friends.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Like hot guy friends?
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's not where I was going. I was talking about women friends because that was the topic.
Sorry. Okay. So your partner hasn't really had women friends.
Correct. Let alone a best friend since we've gotten together.
Which there is a difference between being friends with a girl.
Yes. And I think we're focusing on the best friend
and
aspect.
having a designated best friend.
Correct.
Because that should be me.
I also, okay, here's another thing. Maybe the guy doesn't have a feeling. The guy doesn't have romantic feelings for the best friend, but what if the best friend has romantic feelings for your boyfriend?
Oh, and the plot thickens.
Guys, what I'm hearing is there's too many possibilities, therefore it's a red flag.
Okay, so best friend
specifically,
yes. I think any other women relationships he has, coworkers, other friends,
that's
right?
Fine.
Perfect.
I'm not crazy.
Also, I want to take back what I said about my lesbianism.
Wait, why?
Because I'm overthinking it.
Oh, guys, can we just say don't take us so seriously. Like we're not out here trying to, put out like intense statements or anything.
The gays, theys.
Yeah, like fully, like we're very much like
okay.
Yeah.
If I was a lesbian, I would be too powerful.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for this. If you like this game, maybe we'll bring it back.
Yeah.
In other topics too, I think. I mean, I think it makes more sense with relationships, sure, but we could do a friendship version.
Oh yeah. We could do it to so many things.
Yeah. Healthy friendships.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think we need to do a friendship episode.
I think that's really important, actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've touched a little bit on it, but we haven't dedicated too much time towards it.
No.
Yeah.
Not directly.
Cool. Anything else to add for this before we go into some tarot?
I think that's a wrap.
Okay, great. Tarot time, baby.
Okay, tarot time.
Tarot time. Do you want to shuffle again? How did you feel last time?
I can shuffle again.
Okay.
Just hold my mic.
Absolutely.
All right. What are we gonna get today?
What are you feeling?
Feeling?
A mammal? A fish?
I'm feeling a fish.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull this top one.
Close.
A turtle.
A turtle.
A little bit of both.
No, turtles are definitely not a mammal. They are fully a reptile, I believe.
I'm so sorry.
Can I
Okay.
see it? Oh,
It's so
beautiful sea
cute.
turtle. The picture will be up.
And it says, do you want me to read it?
Oh, yes, please. I was just going to say that for our audio listeners, it's a giant sea turtle that takes mostly the entirety of the card with some like orange fish surrounding it. And it looks like it's at a coral reef.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Very majestic. Okay, the card says, adrift in shallow water.
Oh.
Take a few deep breaths and reconnect to your inner peace. Notice the small things and appreciate them.
Okay, I think in honor of that, let's do a collective breath together. Everybody do this with us. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Okay, thank you.
That was nice.
Thank you. What does it say?
Take a few breaths, deep breaths, and reconnect to your inner peace. Notice the small things and appreciate them. So it's not that deep.
It's really not because you're in shallow water.
Oh my God.
That's what it says.
Yes, the title is Adrift in Shallow
that
Water.
deep. I like that. It's again, I think a lot of these cards are just like kind of daily reminders.
Yeah.
Or weekly reminders in our case because we're doing this weekly. Notice the small things.
Mindfulness.
Guys, the best way I do like notice the small things is when I go on walks. Like I'll try to find like hidden faces in the nature.
I love that.
So like we were walking, it wasn't really nature because it was fully like a man-made asphalt sidewalk, but we found like basically from like nails and things like in the asphalt, like a little smiley face.
See that? It makes me so happy to see that kind of thing. And I think just like to pay attention to the world around you, because I think we're so caught up in our own world. I was driving yesterday and I just was like, you know what? I'm going to like not just like sit at this light staring ahead. I'm going to like take in my surroundings. And the car next to me had a full-on chihuahua hanging out of the driver's window. And I was like,
one time I saw a little dog jump out of a window. Sorry, that's
Stop.
a story for
A little
another
dog?
time. Yes.
oh.
So that makes me nervous, but I'm glad that it gave you happiness.
I was like, and then yeah, we like bro nodded at each other totally. This dog like fully looked at me and I was like, what's up, dude? And it fully like acknowledged me. I was
And
like,
you're like, do you want
Hi.
Taco Bell?
yeah.
That's really sweet. I love that. I think animals are always like a really good grounding.
Yeah. And I don't know if this is weird, but whenever I see like a plane going by, I like think about all the people in there.
That is something I actually read in a mindfulness book where it was like, it's morbid, but it's like, think of mindfulness as like the world will go on if you weren't in it. Essentially, like you're not like the main character. Like there's so much else going like on around you. Like notice like how you like notice your place in all of that essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And like that kind of reminded me of that because you're like, yeah, like there's other people out there. They're flying in planes. You don't know where they're going.
Yeah.
They're living a whole different life.
It's so crazy. Like how many, like when I see big crowds of people, that every single person here has something that they're dealing with, something that they love, some people that they love.
Different love language.
Yes. And I think it's just so beautiful and overwhelming. And so,
Yeah.
yeah.
So all you can do
is just take a deep breath, reconnect,
and
to your
appreciate
inner
the small
peace.
things.
Yeah, that.
Yes. And with that, another ep in the books. Guys, we're almost approaching our season finale.
Oh my gosh, we have something that we're planning.
Yes.
So stay tuned.
Yes, please do. It'll be our 15th episode.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep that in mind and we'll have a fun time.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yes, I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, please give us feedback because we want to know what you want. We enjoy talking about all the things, so it doesn't really affect us too much.
Yeah.
But we'll see you next week.
With a fun one.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. I forgot.
I can't wait. It's going to be.
Okay. Well, we'll see you then. Love you. Yes.
weekend, whatever day it is when you're watching this.
Yes. Love
Okay.
you. Bye.
Bye. Although we cover themes of mental health, Girl Are You Okay is not a substitute for therapy or mental health services. Also, thank you to our co-producers, Gab and Eric.